Hello and welcome to Words or Wind, the once weekly podcast in which we get together and discuss Game of Thrones. Today we are covering the episode recap for episode 2 of season 7. And I am joined by my co-host Chris.
Hi.
Hi. He's nodding at me. Well,
shaking my head.
Shaking his head at me. It's a nod. Technically you're nodding, but it's just like a weird
I don't
nod.
like that.
It's like a shaky nod.
Anyways.
Anthony.
Hey.
Man, we've really streamlined this process. And James.
God damn it.
All right, so this is... let's just get this out of the way. This is possibly the worst episode of Game of Thrones ever.
I agree.
We unanimously agree with it. I've actually done a write-up so I don't forget how much I hate every scene and why.
This is rare. He doesn't usually write things down for our words.
I don't write things down for anything. Even loud tables, I come in completely freeballing.
Well, we do write up notes for like the history and lore videos.
Yeah, but that's...
But also we can keep it all like accurate.
Straight and accurate, yeah, exactly.
But for pretty much everything else, we just fucking like dive in and just talk about it, and we'll correct ourselves later if we fuck it up in the middle of the recording.
So... traditionally, like, the format is going to be, like, we go around the table and talk about, like just give a brief synopsis of, like, the episode. Like, briefly, like, how you feel about the episode. But I'm pretty sure we can all just agree it's terrible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
There were parts I liked,
we can
but
skip...
there were parts I did not think.
Then let's skip over that and just get straight into the scene.
It was an episode.
First scene is on Dragonstone. It's Dany's, like, war council, and it's the Varys scene where Varys is trying to prove his loyalty.
I thought the Varys part of that scene was pretty okay.
Here's my problem with this scene. My problem with the fucking show in general is I fucking hate Dany, and I want her to fucking die so bad. She's not going to.
No.
But I just want her to fucking die because, like, this whole thing... Okay, so... this whole, like, Varys scene, she's, like, trying to get him to, like, prove his loyalty. Oh, he isn't loyal. He's blah, 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 whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that... you know the reason that she wasn't killed in her fucking crib when she was a baby? Varys. You know the reason that she probably wasn't killed before she left Dragonstone?
Varys.
It's probably fucking Varys. You know the reason that she probably wasn't actually killed by that fucking poison merchant? Was
Varys.
probably fucking Varys. Varys has done that. And then he brought the Dornish to the table. He brought the Tyrells to the table. He brought Tyrion to the table, her most trusted advisor. He's been about a Targaryen restoration since literally the day the Targaryens fell.
He has literally set up everything that she's ever achieved, basically. Unless it was something that she achieved through firing dragons and tits. And
then another problem that I have is that he also set her up with Illyrio.
Yep.
Or whatever. And I hate the fucking thing in this scene. I hate this fucking thing in this scene where she's like... where he's like, oh, you know, the people want to serve you because you're going to be the best ruler. She's done nothing to prove she's good at ruling. All she did was take over a bunch of cities that were then retaken by the Masters and then bounce out and let Tyrion handle all her problems because she fucked it up.
Yep.
And then came in and killed all the Masters with dragons and then left again. She's done nothing.
The thing that I do like about the scene is literally only Varys, like, dropping the act and just straight shooting, like, open, here's what I'm after here. That's the only thing in that scene I liked.
I do like the fact that, yeah, like...
Just seeing Varys drop the act, the bullshit act.
Yeah, he's no longer, like, got the cowl on and, you know, the guise of, oh, I'm just little old innocent Varys. No, yeah, having was like, look, bitch, let's talk here. I didn't give a fuck. I don't serve a king or a queen or no one. I serve the people. Like hearing him say what amounts to that, that made me like his character a lot more. I really like Varys. But.
I'm not saying it's a good scene, mind you,
Yeah.
but that is one of the few parts of the scene that I actually appreciated.
And then the whole thing where it's like, if you betray me, I'll feed you. I'll let my dragon burn you alive or whatever the fuck. It's just like, how shit is your writing? Like that you have to specifically state that out loud. Like, if you're trying to make Dany, like, intimidating to people, don't have her be like, I'll feed you to my dragons. Because guess what? If Varys was going to fucking betray you, you're going to fucking die.
You're not going to know he's betraying you. You're going to be done.
You're going to be dead, and none of your fucking soldiers, not your dragons, not Tyrion, not that fucking old bitch that you hang out with, can stop him. You know what I mean? If there's two people on the show that if they want you dead, you're going to die, it's Varys and Littlefinger. Littlefinger wants you dead. Like, Littlefinger could just take Winterfell right now.
Yeah.
He could literally kill every single person in the North if he wanted to. But he doesn't. Why? Because he's got plans. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like, just how shit is your writing? Like, if you're trying to make her intimidating, then try to make her intimidating. I know it's hard to make a little 5'2" blonde girl intimidating, but maybe not just have her just be like, I'm gonna feed you to the dragons, and then just like carry on. Like, that doesn't make me scared. That makes me think that you're a fucking idiot. Like, that makes me think that you're just like, I don't even know. Like, you're just so dumb that you can't just leave some sort of context. You can't make.
There's also a lot worse things
something.
that you can do to a person than burn them with dragon fire.
It's like,
it's probably relatively close to painless.
I'm just saying, it's fucking dumb. Then from here we go to the Mel Danny scene. Oh, did anybody have more to say?
I was just gonna say if dragon fire is hot enough to melt a castle,
yeah,
melt, not burn, melt a castle. Probably not gonna hurt that bad getting burned to death by a dragon.
Yeah.
It's going to be quick.
Yeah, it's going to be reasonably quick because I imagine if you're getting burnt by a dragon, especially if it's like...
No, if she'd have been like, well, I heard about these assholes that used to live in the north of Westeros. They'd like cut all your skin off and tie you to a cross. That's a little more fucked up.
I heard of these guys, the wildlings.
I like how the Boltons are just like the gold standard for fucked up in Westeros.
I heard these guys, the wildlings, I heard that they boil people that piss them off. So
Fens, they'll just eat you.
Yeah.
Fucking Dothraki.
Bit by bit.
Draw and quarter your ass.
Yeah. They'll drag you behind a horse. You might
right.
make it 9 miles. Someone did.
So, transition to the Mel and Danny scene, which was what was next. So, first thing first, I'm the realist. Second thing second, I put down here as an important note was I don't understand how Melisandre, I didn't find her attractive in season 1 at all, but like every year, like she gets hotter to me for some reason. I don't understand it. Like it's like unnatural. Like she's 40, like she keeps getting older or whatever, but every year I'm just like, God damn. What up, girl? What you been doing? I don't know what you're doing, but you're killing it. Like, but every year, dude.
Now, the Melisandre scene with Daenerys.
Oh, I fucking hated it. I hated almost most scenes in this show, though. This episode.
I wasn't fond of it. But I feel like it came closer to giving an actual valid reason for Jon Snow coming to Dragonstone than the one that they actually set up in the show.
Well, here's the thing that immediately made it shit to me. So I like Dany when she's being like, charming and charismatic, and she's about the people and blah 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 blah, and she's kind-hearted and shit like this. I hate this whole like I'm a badass fucking conqueror queen lady, and so I'm
basically
so
how she is in the books. You're cool with.
I'm such an unstoppable force of nature, and no one can stop me. I'm a fucking Targaryen. Blah 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 blah. I hate that, and that was just her doing that this season so far. One of my first problem with this scene was when when Mel is like telling her the prophecy of the prince that is promised,
and they had to outright state, "Oh, that's not correct exactly because Valyrian." Blah.
Yeah, Missandei had to come and be like, "Well, actually, the translation is the princess that was promised." Blah 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 blah. It's like I could understand like
that was literally the most fan service I've ever seen. Like literally, like breaking down a theory to the point that they explain the grammar of a fictional language. Yeah, so that the casuals can get that.
Well, my thing is like it was so fucking dumb, and it was so fan servicey, and like it would matter if they cared about the prince that was promised prophecy. Like you've heard Azor Ahai the entire series. You may have heard the prince that was promised once or twice or something like that. It's not like the main prophecy they talk about on the show.
Yeah, and they're also trying to like roll the two into one prophecy. They are actually separate things.
And it's like it's that annoyed me. What else pissed me off about the scene? Hold on, let me look over my notes.
I hate the pissy comment from Daenerys. Oh, well, you've come on an auspicious day. We've decided to pardon people who previously supported the wrong king or what. Blah.
I don't think she realizes how dangerous Varys is. Because the thing about it is in this show, since season 2, she's had no real hardship. Everything is immediately solved because she's a chick and she has boobs that people like, or she has dragons. Varys doesn't give a shit about either.
Or early on because Varys.
Yeah. It's like, but Varys doesn't give a shit. Varys is a fucking savage. Varys will fucking have you murked up.
Also, Varys doesn't he's a eunuch. Let's just put it that way.
So
you're not going to sway him that way.
Yeah, exactly. So she has no power over him.
Yeah.
That I do like.
One thing I did like about the whole... At first, I was like, it's prince or princess that was promised. It's like, yeah, okay, fan service, yada, yada, yada. But then the more I thought about it, though, is it does open up the one thing that... I can't remember if we talked about it last week on show or if it was something we talked about off recording about how the whole
The Valonqar prophecy.
Valonqar prophecy of like the younger brother, how it could be younger brother or younger sibling, younger sister. It's there's not really a gender specific on that.
Yeah.
I thought about that. I was like, well, that does give them an in to have someone like, say, Arya kill Cersei because she is the younger sister of someone. So it does give that excuse if they go that route and don't have Jaime or Tyrion kill Cersei. Now they actually have a reason that's actually in the show. It's been stated, and people shouldn't be getting pissed off if it's not Tyrion or Jaime that kill her.
My problem with that is that they still haven't talked about the Valonqar prophecy, which makes me question.
They really
they're
lightly,
gonna do
even
it.
remotely touched
They
on
glossed
it.
over at the beginning of season 6, I believe.
Or 5? Was it season 5 or 6?
Season 5 or 6.
Well, they've never. Well, that's the thing is they've
No,
never said
when
it.
they did the Maggie the Frog scene, was that season 5 or 6?
That was season 5.
Okay.
They were like
But they
back
didn't
in-
do that then. They just talked about the kids being
They kind
killed.
of cut it off, yeah.
Yeah, gold will be their shrouds or whatever. So, like, I'm not even sure they're going to do that on the show. They should do it on the show because that's obviously what's going to happen in the books.
They could still do it, but they would have to give Cersei another Maggie the Frog
It'll
flashback.
literally be the episode beforehand. She'll remember that bit and talk about it because they're shit at writing.
Yeah.
And that's how they do things. Let's see other things I wrote down here. So
Here's what I want us to do. I want us to shit talk this episode so much that HBO sends us a cease and desist.
So Mel, the other thing that I hate is when she's like, you are gonna play a part. Melisandre's like, you're gonna play a part. Danny, you're just part of this thing. Also, Jon Snow. And then they're like, why is Jon Snow special? And she's like, because he let the wildlings pass the wall and then allied with the wildlings and united the North. Instead of being like, that motherfucker was dead and I resurrected his ass. Like, he was dead. He wasn't like dying. That motherfucker dead.
Well, to be fair, I don't think she really wants that known that she could have that ability because then all Daenerys is going to see in her as a tool to be used.
But that's the thing is, you could just explain the Red God. Just be like, listen, man, this just happens.
I'm not magic. I just
Yeah.
say some words, and dude decides whether
Yeah.
he wants to do it
the
or not.
the same way she explained it to everyone else. You know what I
If you
mean?
really want the shit to work, there's this guy named Thoros you need to talk to. He's better at it than I am.
Find the drunken bald shit with the top knot, and
Bald cunt.
he might be able to help you a little better. But
the other thing, yeah, he's done it a couple times other than just once.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I
I
wrote
think he's
here
done it like 13 or 14 times actually.
was Tyrion has yet to be funny.
Yeah.
Because Tyrion has now been in 2 scenes at this point in this episode, and he has yet to be funny a single time, which is one of the main character features. I don't like super serious Tyrion. Tyrion's best when he's, he can be intellectual without being super fucking serious and dark and like, ooh.
Tyrion is most interesting when he's only half-assing things.
And that's
When
what
he's got a
that
cup
is.
of wine in his hand and not really giving much of a shit because he's already got it all figured out. That is when Tyrion is at his maximum interest.
But here's the thing. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that simply because Tyrion is a smart motherfucker, and he realizes, all right, playtime's over. We're about to go to war. It's time to get a little serious.
The thing about that is he was doing that during the entire War of the Five Kings when Stannis Baratheon was at their gates ready to beat them down and fucking kidnap everybody in the city, rape everybody to death. He was still funny and charming and ha ha ha. When he killed his father and the love of his life,
Yeah, he was still funny
and
when
charming.
when he was in Marine,
Yeah.
meeting Daenerys for the first time and having a meeting with who else was there? I know Missandei, Grey Worm, all of them were there. Daria, and he's just like making jokes and
Yeah,
nobody else is getting the
like,
humor,
that's
and that
one of-
kind of makes it funnier.
That's one of the key bits. Like, the whole point of Tyrion as a character is he's so much smarter than everyone else, and he's so clever, and he's so sharp-tongued. That's his entire deal. That's why people like him as a character. The second you can take that away, and he's just an exposition machine
if we
for
wrote
Dany.
if we wrote Tyrion down as a D&D character, he'd have a charisma score of 30.
Yeah. But, like, right now, he's just functioning as exposition narrator for Dany, so she knows what happened over the last fucking 6 seasons in Westeros.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's fine, but at least make him do it in a fun, funny way, not just tell you exactly what happened, plot synopsis. Swear to God, that's what they did for his dialogue this episode. They just pulled up plot synopsis and they just copied and pasted directly from their fucking wiki or some bullshit.
Which was even better written than the actual episode.
Yeah. The other thing is like, if Jon comes and actually bends the knee to Dany, I'm fucking done with this character. I hope he gets murdered again.
the only going back to the Melisandre part, the only part that I found even remotely good about that was the whole call Jon Snow, talk to him, have him tell you the shit he's seen and been through, and see how it goes. Like, that's a much more interesting way of getting Jon Snow to Dragonstone, I feel, than the whole Dragonglass that they've known about for like four or five seasons.
Yeah.
So
it's just incredibly annoying to me, like that whole deal of just like tell him to come and bend the knee to his queen, and it's just like he has no reason to, like, like now especially with the spoilers. Well, if you're listening to this, fuck you for spoilers. Where Dany's fleet has been fucking dicked down. You know what I mean? It's just like fuck off. Like, Jon, I'm pretty sure with the army, with the Knights of the Vale, they could take your shit. Yeah. The Knights of the Vale are one of the most powerful and well-rested houses in the entirety of Game of Thrones.
They could literally just ally the Vale of Arryn with the North, hole up in fucking oh god, what's the name of the keep called?
Where? What keep? In the Vale?
Yeah.
The Eyrie.
The Eyrie, that's it, the Eyrie. They could just hole up in the Eyrie and nobody is going to be able to stop them.
The Erie's been impregnable for thousands of years.
Like, dragons, we'll fly up there and burn it. Go for it.
Go for it, bro. My whole thing.
Not Rhaegar, but Aegon didn't do it, so.
Well, here's the thing. Well, here's the way.
Bring it.
The Vale did get conquered by dragons or whatever, but that's not how things would play out now, because now you know how to kill dragons. This was literally the first time Westeros even knew dragons existed when Aegon invaded. There's a reason why shortly after Aegon invaded, people started killing dragons.
Yeah.
It's because they were like, okay,
they figured it out. It wasn't a surprise anymore.
Here's the new enemy. How do we kill it? Yo.
Put a hole in it.
What if we make a big fucking crossbow? I like where you're at. Fucking the North would be able to do it simple. They can just get some fucking giants. And just fucking, because you saw the giant shoot the fucking arrow through the wall, like through that bit of the wall or whatever. Fuck, dude, go north, find some more giants.
Yeah.
There's more. We know there's more. There's a bunch of them that just didn't join you. know?
Yeah.
All right, so anything else anybody has to say about that scene?
No.
All right, so Sansa and Jon reading her letters, the next thing. Now, the pacing of this episode is weird.
Yeah.
Because, like, normally you wouldn't get those three scenes in a row. You'd have a breather in between it. So you get the first Dany scene, and then you go do, like, Arya or something like that. Then you come back and you get the second Dany scene, and then you go do something. And then you come back and you get
Sam
Jon.
or some shit.
Yeah, and then you come back and you get Jon. None of them are, like, in a row. And I'm wondering why they're doing that. It feels like they're simplifying the show to try and make it as understandable as possible. It's not the reason people watch Game of fucking Thrones. If they wanted a simple show, they would go fucking watch, PBS and watch some fucking Sesame Street. Like, that's not why we're here.
If you wanted a simple show, you'd probably be watching Jersey Shore.
Another thing I wrote here, Davos has yet to be funny. Why is Davos yet to be funny as well? Davos is really funny dude in general. But he wants.
They're also giving him very little screen time.
He literally said, his 2 lines this episode, and I'm pretty sure that's it in 2 episodes.
He wasn't in the first episode.
Well, he was physically there, but he didn't talk.
He didn't state a single thing. Like,
also, the thing that pissed me off about this scene, this specific scene, this is like the shortest notes I'm pretty sure I have for any scene. The thing that pissed me off about this scene is he's just like, and she's got 3 dragons. Yeah, she has 3 dragons. What if we use the dragon's fire to kill whites? And everybody's like, oh my god, that's incredible. You're a genius, baby. You're a genius. We're so fucking money. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, it doesn't take a fucking genius to piece bits together and be like, dragons breathe fire. Fire kills whites. Huzzah! Like you should know dragons are going to be pretty fucking useful based off the fact that Valyrian steel, which is a Valyrian invention, Valyrians are famous for dragons, kills White Walkers somehow. And then dragon glass kills White Walkers somehow. Like, dragon fire is special. My word! Who would have ever thought? like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding me? This is a step up from the dragon glass thing where everybody just so happened to forget that Dragonstone is covered in dragon glass.
It's almost entirely made of dragon glass, actually.
The super common knowledge, there's threads of dragon glass just in the keep, like in actual Dragonstone, like the actual castle. There's
it's just in the walls.
Like, it's just...
You don't see that in the show either. Like, it's just like stone walls.
Because the Valyrians didn't build that castle. They used magic to forge the earth to make that castle. Like, it's not just stone laid down. Like, they
Yeah.
used magic to actually manipulate the earth itself.
They earthbended that shit.
Basically, yeah. And it's just like, oh my god, that fucking made me so mad. It's just like, everybody should be able to tell this without you specifically stating
Wait,
like
Matt.
this.
Are you saying that dragons can kill whites?
Yes. Fuck! I know, right? We gotta go get some dragons, y'all. Pisses me off so fucking much.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, the other thing I don't like about the scene, and we'll get to it a little bit later, but Jon is like, shows Sansa the letter and is like, what do you think? What do you know about Tyrion? What about this? What about that? Blah, 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 whatever. Is getting her counsel, you know what I mean? Which was the main argument in episode 1, which was like, you're not listening to anything I'm fucking saying. Okay, well, don't fucking question me in front of my men. And, like, so now he's listening and he's sharing information with her or whatever, you know what I mean? And then she's still in the later scene, which we'll get to, she's, like, questioning every fucking decision he makes. And it's just like, just fucking backhand her one time. I'm fucking done with Sansa.
You can clearly tell he's trying to be diplomatic with her, too.
Yeah.
And try to actually, like, share a little of the responsibility because he knows she's not worthless.
Yeah, he knows that she has her skills, and he knows that she wants to contribute in some way. So he's given her the opportunity, which is her main complaint. And he was like, don't question me in front of the people. Like, I need their respect. And then she's going to continue to do it. And it's just like, just punch her in the fucking face, Jon.
It's like, you can question me. Let's just go in the other room.
Exactly.
And then you can say whatever the fuck you want in the other room. Let's just.
So I've got 2 big issues with this scene.
Okay.
One being, I really disliked how it's episode 2, and they're already trying to like force together the whole Dany and Jon get to meet each other finally type thing. When it was,
I like that Jon's finally everybody's pen pal.
yeah.
Everybody's sending him letters.
He's getting so much. He's got all the Twitter followers.
I know, right? But
Dear
I
Jon.
really felt like when they were having that big back and forth between like Jon and Sansa is like, should I go? No, we need our king in the north. We need you here. We need to all that. I kind of wish that Jon had continued to go, you're right. Let's get shit squared away up here. Then maybe I can go down and see this bitch. I felt that they could have waited a little while before doing this whole, all right, time to go make all the fans happy. Here's Jon.
It's like
Hey, I know
clearly-
the North just fell apart. We got important shit coming at us. I'm heading out. See you, bitches.
Well, the thing is, I can understand Jon being like, yeah, we need the dragon glass. I'ma go. My problem with that scene, we'll get into it.
It just feels like they're blowing their load on a lot of shit.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
This was just the letter one.
Oh,
This is
I
just
see.
them
My
receiving the
bad,
letter.
my bad.
So Cersei, next scene is Cersei and King's Landing. And my note here says, we all know it's bad when I root for Cersei in a fight with someone. And if Cersei and Dany fight, Dany will definitely win. But I will fucking be cheering for Cersei. I'd go to war for Cersei right now. I would rally my fucking banners and march just to fucking kill Dany.
I feel like the Cersei scene was kind of shoehorned in this episode. Just like
It was very
just like
forgettable.
jammed in there.
Like, you remember season 2 when, like, the dude Ramsay's man keeps blowing the horn outside of Winterfell? And, like, Theon's rallying everyone or whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill that man! I don't care what it takes! I'll fucking kill him! You know what I mean? Or, like, that whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about Dany. That's how I'd be on the battlefield. I'd be like, no arrow you fucking shooting me will stop me. You can stab me 1,000,000 times. You can catch me on fire. I'll give a shit. I'll kill her. Like,
You'll die, but you'll die
I
afterwards.
will fucking die with her at the end of my fucking blade. The thing that I don't like about this scene is, like, it's all information we already have. So yes, it does feel very shoehorned. It's all information we already have. The other thing is, like, Randall Tarley is being depicted weird in the show compared to the books, because in the books he is a loyal man of the realm. Like, he was a Targaryen supporter. Targaryens lost. Went for Robert Baratheon. Robert Baratheon supporter. Robert Baratheon lost. You know, he swears to the crown. He's always about the crown more than anything else. And I really dislike the way that they had to, like, convince him to go against the Tyrells. And it's just like, who gives a fuck?
He would
Like,
have
you're-
zero issue in the book going against Tyrells. He'd be like, Crown says do this, I'm doing this.
Yeah, and like he is just loyal to the realm wholeheartedly. That's his whole deal. You know what I mean?
I had zero issue with that, but then again, I am as they mentioned last episode. If this for some reason is your first episode, I'm the show watcher. They're the book readers. As someone,
and I'm the useless.
We love you anyway. But as someone who has no context from the books with Mr. Tartley, I didn't have much of an issue with that part.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, of course, people that watch the show aren't going to know that that's how he is. But, like, yeah, that's something that I had a problem with.
For all intents and purposes, the way the character's written in the books, yeah, obviously I disagree with it. But for the show, they've given very little time to actually explain jack shit about Randall Tarley. So it's fine.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I'm not upset by it. I would have liked it the other way. But at the end of the day, they haven't had time to really set any of that up either. So.
Another note I have here. Jamie has not been funny yet. Why is no one being funny this fucking season? Not one joke has been had in 2 episodes. This is fucking ridiculous. Because Jamie's a funny guy.
The Hound. Sanders was funny last episode.
What did he do that was funny?
Call people bald cunts.
That's true.
Talk about fire.
That's fair enough.
Euron's whole scene was funny last episode.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So better question. Why the fuck aren't these characters being funny? Tyrion's supposed to be funny. Jamie's a funny dude. Davos is funny. But yet nothing. Who wrote this fucking episode? We need to go to their fucking house and burn them to death tonight. Burn them with dragon fire.
Better yet, wildfire. They like that just as much.
From here we go to the first Samwell scene where him and the Maester are examining Jorah.
Interesting thought I had while watching the Samwell scenes. I think that they are going to completely forego any references to Maester Marwyn.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Sam's going to become the show's version of Maester Marwyn.
Possibly. The thing that I found strange about this scene, so once again, this is a very short scene and very short notes, is I find it strange that grayscale will make you lose your mind real fucking fast, and then like you'll just live for 20 years with grayscale. Like that seems like an excessive amount of time for basically rabies. You know what I mean? Like this is essentially like Westerosi rabies.
But I mean, I suppose you'd have to live some degree of extended time with grayscale for Valyria to be full of the stone men.
Yeah. But 20 years seems excessive. Like you're gonna lose your mind. Then what's going to happen? You're going to live for 20 years. It's going to be fine.
You're going to live a full life.
In Middle Ages, 20 years is a full life. Like, if you make it past 20, you're killing it.
Well, I don't know. I'm not even going to go into the grayscale
Average
thing.
age was like 40 back then, but still.
That was kind of weird to me.
The dude's already in like his 40s in the show, isn't he?
I have no idea. I know the actor is 58.
Yeah, the dude's already like an older gentleman. He'll live 20 to 30 more years. This motherfucker's going to make it longer than most people nowadays make it.
The other thing I don't like about... Woo! He's just going to power through. The other thing I don't like about this scene is that Jorah's like, Sam's like, what's your name? And Jorah's like, Jorah Mormont. And then Sam goes... for 45 seconds and then walks out without saying a word. It's just like, be like, yeah, I knew your paps, bruh. Like, I knew your paps. He's a cool dude. He said, join the Night's Watch. I'll be back later. Peace. And then moonwalk away. Like, why does he just go into shock for a minute and a half?
Yeah, he should be like, cool, I knew your dad. I'm now your plot armor.
Yeah. like I don't understand. Like, I just hate that when it's just like you have adamant amounts of time to be like, hey man, you know how the Maester said to fucking kill yourself with the sword, basically? He was insinuating it by being like, you have one more day, use it as you will. And then he like looks at the sword, you know what I mean? It's like, he could have just been like, don't mark yourself up. I knew your dad. I got this. I'll come back, cure you later. Peace! And then walk away. Like, I don't know.
Because the second they mention that book, it's like, oh, there's this book with, a possible cure. Herpiter. Oh, well, that's forbidden. Don't. We're not doing that. Immediately, both me and Chris go, he's doing it tonight. What happened?
He did it tonight.
It's forbidden in the forbidden section of the library, like Hogwarts.
I've seen so many of those memes over the past week.
The next.
Holy shit.
What?
The dude that was playing that Maester was in Harry Potter.
He was.
And it was Horace Slughorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's people so many people making those damn jokes.
I don't go on the internet because I hate the internet.
So
well, mostly I hate places like Reddit and Facebook.
We love all of you. Just to make that clear.
So-
viewers.
Well, the people that handle the Reddit and the Facebook are not me.
Fair.
The next scene is the only scene in the episode that I have no problems with, which is Circe with the dragon skulls.
Yeah, I actually thought that was stupid.
I like this scene. Why? Because for once they're actually being like, oh, by the way, you can kill a fucking dragon. It's not that difficult. Here's this big ass crossbow. Dope. Like, they're finally, which makes me think that they're actually going to fucking kill a dragon in the South, which makes me happy because I want Danny to fucking die, and I hate that dragons are these unkillable monsters they're depicted as now, because literally dozens upon dozens of dragons have been killed by men in this world.
Here's the thing.
just in the past 300 years.
That's fine. It was still a stupid scene.
Like, why?
The whole setup of it. Oh, let's go show off this big ass crossbow. It was just unnecessary.
Made by the finest blacksmiths and carpenters. That
Yeah.
had to be thrown in there.
Like-
our finest blacksmiths and carpenters have been working on this day and night.
That would be my
I
only
feel like
problem
there's
with the
like,
scene.
they could have
Whatever.
easily set it up to make it better. It just seemed like a pointless, worthless scene to me. They had.
Well, that's the thing, is they have to do that scene now because the entire rest of the show they've made dragons seem unkillable. So you can't, like, as a show watcher, you don't know that in the Dance with the Dragons, Dornish people were just killing dragons left and right. You don't.
I
know that
would
dragons
honestly
were
rather they
entangled
not
and
set
drowned.
it up and then just do it, and then have everyone who doesn't think about dragons being a fallible thing just get really butthurt.
And they're just like,
Yeah, I'd rather have that actually. I think.
they become Sam,
Yeah.
and they walk out of the room.
They get their shock
But to be fair, I also feed off other people's like.
Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
The only problem I would have with this scene is the fact that they make it sound like this is the first weapon of its design. Like, this is the first one. People have been working on it night and day, and we finally got it happening, or whatever. It almost feels like they're taking, like, the chain storyline from the Battle of Blackwater.
Yep.
It almost feels like they're going to do that, but with this. But I hate that because those have existed for hundreds of years in the Seven Kingdoms. Ever since the Dornish figured out dragons were a problem, they started making them, and they started killing them with that.
Here's my biggest issue with that as well. So it's like, oh, we work night and day, and this is what we've come up with. And I'm sitting there going,
A ballista.
You've come up with a ballista, which is something that has existed in our real world history, and we don't have friggin' dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, literally dozens of dragons have been killed with these things over the course of the past, not so much last 100 years or so, because no dragons have existed in the last 100 years, but throughout that 200-year period between Aegon landing and the death of the last dragon.
I also hate the fact that he's like, yeah, just pull that lever here, and then they show her testing the thing out. It's like, you don't have to show it. We understand how a fucking giant crossbow works.
What if she would have done it? It would have been a Rude Goldberg-esque device or whatever. It releases a mouse runs up and he chews on this cord, and like the cord gets cut and it drops a bowling ball, and you're like, where'd they get a bowling ball?
I would have been okay with it.
Ball, like, rolls onto a dog. The dog squeaks and runs or whatever, knocks over a vase. The vase then lands on, like, I don't know, a fucking cup that like you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm getting
I
at.
would have thought it'd been funny. It was like, our finest blacksmiths and carpenters have been working on this. Pull the lever.
It falls apart.
It just becomes a Monty Python sketch.
I honestly, I just thought it was a pointless scene.
It was a waste of about 2 minutes.
But
The
that's
fact
thing, is
I
it wasn't,
like that
though.
they set up the dragons are killable, but I didn't like the way they did it.
That's fine. Like, not liking the way they did it, but it's not pointless because that's the whole point of the scene, is to like indicate like there's a chance these dragons are going to die, because otherwise show watchers are going to have no concept dragons are going to die, and then when a dragon is killed, they're going to be like, that's fucking dumb. Dragons are like fucking these badasses. How the fuck do they kill them with a crossbow?
Here's the thing. At that exact moment in the earlier scene when they were questioning, when Randall Tarley was questioning Cersei,
Yeah.
and Qyburn steps up and says something, why didn't they just put it in there. It's like
See, that would have been good. That
the
would've been
Dornish
acceptable.
have been killing these motherfuckers for centuries.
Is like if in that scene or whatever they were just like, she has 3 dragons, and she was like, and we can kill 3 dragons, and then they have like it wheeled in or something like that. You know what I mean? And then she's just like, and it like bursts through like a pillar or something like that. One of the pillars there.
I don't even think that you
would've
need to
worked.
show it off. I think they could have just established that they have a weapon that can kill dragons.
Yep, we got
Like, just establish that one, it's a historical thing that has happened countless times at this point.
Yeah. So add some dialogue in there of him being like, they have 3 dragons, and be like, and the Dornish killed dozens of dragons.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this has been a thing.
like
We established last
the whole
episode.
thing is the show watchers, including like me and James, should know that dragons are killable by the simple fact that there's not thousands of the motherfuckers flying through the air.
And the fact that they showed their skulls, like,
Well, the thing
they
about,
clearly die.
the thing about the show is it strongly insinuates that dragons aren't really killed, that dragons just kind of died off. Like, they just became so twisted and inbred and weird that they eventually just died, is the insinuation the show leaves.
I think they should have had a scene early on when, like, someone gets pissed off at Danny and just grabs one of the dragons, just fucking rips its head off
Just-
like you do a chicken
Just
when you're about
hulks
to.
it, just fucking, and then just throws
So I
the
think
body
you're
down.
fucking dragons.
Listen,
Mother of that bitch.
at this point, I want every dragon to die. I am sick of dragons. I'm sick of them being the solve everything for Danny. All right, so the next scene is the actual war council with Danny, where they're actually planning the attacks. This scene annoys me because it's so fucking girl power. It's so yay vagina. You know, it just seems kind of forced. And then, like, they're like, we'll attack Castle Rock. We'll take it. Because, you know, there's not going to be any soldiers there. And there's not going to be any ships in Lannisport. There's not going to be any of that shit. There's not going to be any defenses for Castle Rock. You know, the home of the current queen. You know, there's a running theme in Game of Thrones, which is like, if you take somebody's home while they're at war, they lose face. You know what I mean? Because if they can't defend their home, how the fuck can they win a war?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why Stannis had to hold Storm's End and Robert's Rebellion. Because if he lost the home, why would men fight for him when he can't even defend his own home? You know what I mean? Like, that's a running thing in
'Cause
Game of Thrones. But
strategically speaking, Dragonstone wasn't really important to them. Like,
mean,
from a strategic
you
standpoint.
mean Storm's End?
Storm's End, that's what I meant. Yeah, Storm's End.
Yeah.
Wasn't strategically important. They were putting it under siege because that's just the thing you do.
Yeah. But it's like, oh, we're just gonna. There's no one at Castle Rock. No one can stop us. Also, Castle Rock is this incredible castle that's never been taken. You know what I mean? And like, it's just like, nah, fuck it, we got this. Trust me,
Yeah, we're fine.
I got this, fam. Listen, trust me. I haven't drank wine in like 2 days. I haven't made a joke in like 2 days. I'm a new Tyrion, baby. It's so fucking dumb. It's so fucking dumb. And then, like, the idea of, like, there's not going to be a massive fleet at Lannisport, you know, where the fleet is kept. You know, that's
You
where
know,
the Lannisters keep their
Westeros
ships.
Westeros is at, naval seat of power.
My exact words here were they're not going to be at Castle Rock. No ship at Lannisport to help it. It'll be cake. We'll walk right through there, bruh. We're so money. We don't even know it. Now, who wants to vajazzle? And I'm so fucking sick of Targaryens, because then there's like the scene, like a little thing after that with like her and the Queen of Thorns or whatever, and she's like, be a dragon. And I'm so fucking sick of Targaryens. I'm so fucking sick of them in
Are
general.
you
It's
a
like,
sheep or are you a dragon?
it's like, we're dragons. We're the shit. We fuck shit up. We're the bomb. There's no one like us. Fuck off. You're a bunch of ump-jup farmers, you fucking tardos. Like, you weren't shit in Valyria.
My favorite part of that scene was making Futurama jokes. Are you a sheep or are you a
You're
dragon?
'Cause dragons don't have necks. Yes, they do. Shut up. I'll burn you with dragon fire.
Shark.
It's so fucking dumb. Like, I hate how jumped up the fucking Targaryens are. Like, when they were in Valyria, they didn't matter. The reason that they left Valyria, all Valyrians thought, was because they couldn't handle anybody else in Valyria. Like, they couldn't do Valyria. Like, they weren't ever going to make anything of themselves in Valyria. That's why people thought they left whenever they left to Dragonstone.
Yeah.
That's legit what they thought. They were just like,
They just said,
"These
fuck
guys-
it, we're out.
These guys fucking suck at this, whole politics game and this war game, so they're fucking out. Fucking peace. They're just like pieces of shit, dude. I fucking hate them so much, and I want every Targaryen to die. Blackfire's forever. But yeah, and it's just I just fucking I don't even know what to say. Anybody have anything else they want to say about this scene?
That scene, no.
I just hate like this.
Either you?
I hate how it was like just a big fight, and then like, here's this half thought out plan. We're with you. Let's go.
Yeah, we got this. We're gonna do it. All right, how are we gonna take anything? We're just gonna fucking do it. We're gonna do it.
Do it. Kill it.
Here's where we go, and this is just where we go. I don't care how you do it.
We'll figure it out as we're going, baby. Why? Because we're so fucking money. That's my favorite phrase right now. I wrote it like 8 times in my write down.
I don't understand that phrase, and I don't care.
It's just so funny to me.
My biggest issue with this particular scene is I'm not as much on the Dany hate train as you are. Well, probably once again because I'm not a book reader and I have nothing to compare it against. But
I'm the owner-operator of the Dany fucking hate train.
You're the conductor.
Blackfire Railways.
I literally own all of the hate rails. Yeah.
But my issue is just from a strategic standpoint. Like I said, I don't mind Dany. I like her. We'll see how all this goes. But to have Olenna Tyrell, so he's like, oh, I got to where I am because several men have said things and I've ignored them, and just heavily hinting that she should just ignore Tyrion's advice.
Tyrion's very clearly smarter than her.
Yeah. I ignore smart people, especially smart people that know things about places that you've never been to, because you know literally nothing that's happened in Westeros in the past 100 years because you're dumb. And like, just ignore that. Just dragging it up, baby. Just be loosey-goosey, free flow. You know what I'm saying? Just make it up as you're going. Shift some paradigms. Revolutionize outside the box, baby.
But
be a dragon. Don't be a sheep.
be a shark.
Look at my butt. Woo!
You call that a pressed ham?
Click the retaliate button.
They're all retaliate.
But yeah, I'm just sitting there, like, in my mind going, yeah, sure. Ignore Tyrion and see how well you do. Yeah, go right the
Ignore
fuck ahead.
Tyrion and Varys.
Yeah,
Yes.
the two.
That's like
players.
trusting Littlefinger.
Yeah. At least Littlefinger tells you, don't trust me.
Yeah.
Littlefinger's like, hey, don't trust me. And then they try and trust him, and he's like, don't trust me.
Well, to
And then
be
they try and
fair-
trust him, he's like, I'm telling you not to trust me. And they trust him one more time, and he's just like, fuck it, you're dead.
To be fair, Tyrion, Varys at least was told her to listen, but
Yeah.
I'm
just saying, dude,
Still.
it's fucking ridiculous. That's how women powered is, though. I feel like that's very much like a woman power thing of just being like, ignore all men. They're all dumb. They all have penises. Fuck them. Fuck the patriarchy. Like, like that's what it felt like to me.
Like,
And
I'm fine that they're trying to, cast these characters as strong women. That's fine. I don't care. What bothers me is when you're clearly writing it to be like, no, just ignore people who actually have some real world experience and are trying to give you solid, sound advice and counsel. Fuck it, ignore them.
Yeah, they're pieces of shit. They don't know shit.
Yeah.
They aren't dragons.
Yeah.
Ooh, dragons! Dragonfire! Like, I fucking hate it so much, dude. I'm so mad right now. Anyways, moving on. So,
What's the next scene there?
Missandre and Grey Worm is the next scene.
Oh, that was
Which
great.
was the most cringeworthy scene I've ever seen of anything.
No, we'll get to the cringeworthy scene here about the end. Trust me. But
Here's the thing. Missandei, in the books, is like 9.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
She's a small child.
So, in my head, all this is a dude with no balls trying to fuck a girl that's basically 10. Is all I'm seeing here.
Here's my problem. These two actors don't really have a whole lot of chemistry. There's like no music. Like, it's quiet and awkward. The sex is really awkward. And here's the thing. Not to sound sexist. I'm a red-blooded American male. I like seeing boobs. Chick that plays Missandei, really cute. She had some cool boobs. And you have to make a really weird scene when you got a cool boob chick on screen, and I'm like, ugh, can this end already? She's getting eaten out, you know what I mean? It's like, let's not be crass about it.
What else is he supposed to do?
He's steady eating her out right there, and you're like seeing from like this perspective, you're seeing her boobs, you're seeing like her stomach or whatever, you're seeing his head in between her legs and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm just like, can this please end? Like, and I'm watching it alone. It's not like I'm watching it with people and I'm like, this is awkward. Like, I'm watching it alone in my room. It's just like, you know, I'm just like, this is the worst porn I've ever seen. Like, this is the saddest porno I've ever seen. Like, it was so bad that I just should have started watching porn. The storylines would have been better. It was real fucking porn than this fucking movie, this episode, I mean.
It was real awkward and real cringeworthy. And as a book reader, it's even worse.
And it went on way too long.
Yeah, it did.
It was like 3.5 minutes. Oh, man, it was terrible.
I mean, I like the idea of, you know, Grey Worm opening up. It's like, okay, this woman who I care a lot about is my weakness. That part was cool. Yeah,
Those are the cheesiest set of lines in the whole show.
It's a very cheesy lines.
That I've watched.
I wanted to leave him, and he just like, baby, come back. Look at blame it on me. Does this also feel like it's foreshadowing Grey Worm's death?
absolutely.
Grey
They're
Worm
gonna
will
kill
not
him.
make it to season 8. I'm calling that right now because of this scene. He's dead as a door now.
That's immediately what I thought when this scene happened. I was like, that motherfucker's dead. He's totally dead. He's so not money.
Yeah, this is him getting his last poontang before he dies.
For his
first-
only?
Yeah,
his
his
first
first.
and last.
All right, so next scene is we're back to Sam, and he's in the library talking to the maester or whatever. And I
About
love this-
style.
Yeah, I love that scene. I love that scene because it's just so fucking. You know,
I do
knowledge
like
is
this
power.
scene.
You know, the
Yeah.
reading rainbow. Knowledge is power, but like that's how it is, dude. It's so fucking stupid.
I read this thing once in this book. It said you can do it.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
You need to have style and flair, baby. What are you going to name your book? The Wars of Robert Baratheon the First against 4 other motherfuckers. That's the worst title I've ever heard.
I swear
Fuck
to
you.
God, I swear to God, I half expected well, what would you name it? I don't know.
A
Winds
game.
of Winter?
Well, I expect him to be like, maybe a Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I swore there was gonna be like a little fourth wall inside joke, tongue-in-cheek humor there, and
I'm surprised
I'm
they didn't.
kind of disappointed they didn't.
I
Like-
kind of would have appreciated it.
Like
actually.
that would have been the most money thing. Just like that would have been the writer being like, "We're so fucking money, baby." You know?
We need to talk about your catchphrase.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite phrase right now. It's just being like just for this is just how confident, how shit confident you have to be about your shitty writing that you're just like. I imagine they're just sitting there and they're just like, "Man, I'm so fucking good. I'm the greatest writer there's ever been. I'm so fucking money. I can do whatever I want, baby." Woo! You know, and then there's like 4-minute fucking sex scene with a man with no dick and a 10-year-old. Oh, baby, you can't stop me. Like, that's what I'm imagining in my fucking head. This guy's just. Does anybody have any more cocaine? Like, I need coke to finish this. The power of cocaine. Be a dragon, baby. Woo!
Honestly, I think he ran out of cocaine, so they just switched him to meth.
All right.
He was writing this episode after 3 weeks of just not sleeping. He's like fucking scrawling it out with a fucking
Swipe the
crayon.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
You know, he's just Taco Bell and meth. He's just woo. Like, then Danny says she'll burn the motherfucker. Boom. I'm the greatest. All right. So this transitions into Sam curing Jorah, attempting to cure Jorah,
Oh boy!
which was fine. I
was
didn't have any
fine.
problems with that scene.
I like so I like the scene. I like the fact that it empowers. You know, it shows Sam taking
Stepping
the
up.
reins and stepping up and
Doing
cool. Me as a person, this is all on me. This is not saying that the scene was bad.
All on me.
When I see someone going through something of a physical nature, I'm very empathetic to that, to the point of I think about how that would feel. So I'm sitting here watching fucking Jorah getting flayed, and I was like, oh, like it was a little bit hard for me to watch.
I was pretty okay with it.
It didn't bother me in the
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, me and Chris were just sitting back there like,
Still eating my pizza, just like,
Yeah.
huh?
Like if you put that scene on,
I mean-
like if I was eating food and you put that scene on loop, I'd be fine. If you put the scene from last episode where he's like cleaning shit constantly, I would have had a problem.
I was eating for that one too. and It didn't bother me.
Now, see, here's the
Chris
thing.
is always
It's
eating.
not like it made me sick to my stomach. No, I'm not saying.
No,
that.
he's viscerally flinching in pain,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
So
"Meh,
here's
it's
my
just skin."
question. Speaking of poo, do you think Grey Worm's eating ass or not? Like,
I don't care.
he's so money though, baby.
We really need to talk about these catchphrases, man.
That is
Come
a
on.
terrible catchphrase.
It's the best catchphrase. Dude.
No,
I don't
the
give a
worst.
shit. Listen, we'll let the listeners decide.
Anyways.
All right, so then we skip to.
Well, hold on. I'm not done there.
Okay.
The Sam and Jorah scene, I feel it was unnecessary because it kind of went over the top. Not really like for any particular reason. They just didn't have a need to just go that far with it. Like, I feel like it kind of spoiled the scene for me. I did like when Sam's like, "Here, drink this," and he's like, "What is it? Rum. It's gonna hurt." And before he takes the drink, he's like, "Wait, hold on," and hands it back. Like, I need a drink too.
I didn't feel like it was overdone. Like it's traditional Game of Thrones. I mean, like think back to when Ramsay was torturing Theon. Like
You still never see it in that much detail.
but
though.
you do though. You see him literally cut around his finger and remove his fingernail.
Yeah, but you
Close
see
up.
it. You don't see it really close
You
up.
do see it close up, and then at a
We're
certain
gonna have
point
to go
he
back and watch
grabs the
that.
nail and pries it. I've literally watched season 2 like 2 weeks ago.
You're going to have to show me that again because I don't remember. When I remember seeing that exact same scene, it was with the camera about 5 feet away.
No, they do like a really close. Well, I wouldn't say really close up, but they do a reasonably good enough close up that you can actually see him like grab the nail and like prying it or whatever a little bit. Yeah.
I don't remember any of that.
So my biggest problem with this scene, hey, there's a way to cure this. Guess what it is? You fucking cut it off. Done.
Put on some ointment.
There's not
Put
like,
a Robitussin
oh,
on
we
there.
gotta go to like get this special medicinal herb and like rub it in and like wait for it to dissolve a little bit and then blah,
Feed
blah,
your
blah.
dragon glass.
Yeah.
The other thing.
it's just like fucking.
No, that's not how you do it. You take the dragon glass and you shove it into their chest
I see.
while they're tied to a tree. Wait a minute.
Why they're tied to a tree?
Wait, that's for something else.
Yeah. Well, what if you take the dragon glass and use it to stop somebody from turning into a
No shit.
not that they've done that already. What if you stab that? No, fuck.
What if you
Fuck it.
tie a 9-year-old to a pyre and burn? Oh shit!
What if? Okay, there's a mountain of dragon glass that you just forget about for no particular reason for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I don't know, I had really no qualms with that scene particularly. One thing that I did find interesting in like the earlier scene with Jorah that I forgot to cover is when the guy's like, "You should just cut your arm off, whatever you got grayscale, dude." Like that would have solved it immediately. Like you'd been
That one
fine.
Archmaester is just savage as hell.
Like,
Yeah,
I just-
he's
Horse
very
Slughorn?
just, like
Yeah.
dry humor and sarcastic as shit. And like my favorite line from this episode was one of his, and he goes, "Yeah, he cured it, but you know what he died of? Grayscale." Moon walks out and fucking done.
To be fair, though, at one point, half of the Citadel was wiped out by grayscale.
Can I just say, in response to me taking this long to realize that same dude was in Harry Potter, was the fact that I don't immediately think of him as the guy from Harry Potter. I think of him as the dude from Hot Fuzz.
With a big bushy beard!
A great big bushy beard.
That's my favorite line.
That's where I recognize him from.
But yeah, it's
Nick
just...
Frost's dad.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, man, where it's like, I don't know. I mean, it was fine. It was fine. I'm happy.
I didn't hate the scene. It was
Yeah, I'm going to be happy to see Jorah all healed up or whatever, good to go, so he can go north of the wall
air
and die.
quotes healed up.
Yeah, so he can go north of the wall and die. You know, like he's probably going to.
Yeah.
All right, from here we go to Arya at the Crossroads with Hot Pie.
I thought that was okay, actually.
I thought it was a fine scene.
Decent little scene.
Here's my...
I liked seeing Hot Pie again.
Yeah. So here's my problem. It has nothing to do with the scene itself. It has everything to
Right.
do with Arya. I realized why I don't like anything related to Arya. And
No
that is
emotion?
because she is a sociopath. And they try to pass her off as not being a sociopath. They try to make you feel for her, like, oh, she's trying to feel human or whatever. But she's a sociopath. She does constant sociopathic behavior. She killed a girl. What did she do after she killed the girl last season? She then chopped her face off, went into a religious sect, and stuck it to a fucking wall. She returns to Westeros after years and kills a guy, right? But she doesn't just kill him. She kills his sons and chops his sons up and puts them in a pie and then feeds them to him. Then kills him. Then steals his face, pastes it on her own face, and then kills a room of his sons. She is a complete and utter sociopath. You can't make me feel for this person. You can't make me care about this person. Either make them an utter sociopathic badass, right?
Or
make her an interesting, lovable character that feels bad about things like the Hound. Those are your
or
options.
go the Sherlock route, but that's really difficult with a character like Arya.
Like, those are your options. Like, either make her a badass or make her, like, a character I can relate to.
Don't
You
leave her
can't do both.
don't leave her on the fence.
Yeah, exactly. And that is my problem I've decided with Arya. Is like, if you want to make her a badass, cool, make her a badass. If you want to make her sympathetic, make her sympathetic. But I can't be sympathetic for somebody that chopped somebody's kids up, baked them in a pie, then fed them to that person, and then killed that person, and then killed all that person's family.
Catman did it first.
You know what I'm saying? I just can't feel bad for you.
Right.
As a character. But yeah, it was a fine
It's a
scene.
very Hannibal move.
But I dug that scene pretty well. It was interesting. Also, I'm totally happy that she is going back north rather than going down south.
Called it.
Yeah, we called that.
Well, actually, my hands are real sweaty, so let's do Venture Brother. It's hot in this room.
Well, let's go ahead and get a preemptive one for the wolf scene.
I have no desire.
That's
to
so
see
much
her
harder
just
than it should
rush
be.
down the
Go Team Venture. You just got to go for it. You can't.
You can't, like,
You just go back. Go Team
can't
Venture.
guide it in. Yeah.
I had no desire to see her just rush down to King's Landing to, odds are, fail at an attempt to assassinate Cersei,
Mm-hmm.
or just succeed in assassinating Cersei and having it be a lackluster type deal. I would rather see her go back north and reunite with her family that she hasn't seen since season fucking 1.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think that she'll arrive before Jon leaves?
No.
No.
Because I think that they're trying to do, like, the family reunion stuff or whatever. Here's an interesting. Where the fuck is Bran this episode?
Castle Black. I actually made that point on the way here.
Like,
He's had more than enough time to get there. Castle Black's not that far from Winterfell.
like Bran is the character I'm arguably most interested to see what they're going to do with this season.
Yeah.
And he's just gone from this episode completely. Last episode, he had, like, a literal minute-long scene. And it's like, what the fuck? And it's because they're fucking dragging it out. It's just filler. Bran's a game changer. The second that he reaches Winterfell, everything changes because Jon figures out he's a fucking Targaryen, and then Bran's just like, where's the Night King?
He has
like,
he confirms that Jon Snow has the most legitimate claim to the throne.
Yep.
He confirms all the White Walker shit. Provides far more insight into the White Walker shit. Yeah, he is the literal, like, most important plot device in the show and the books at this time, and they're just fucking off with him.
Yeah, and it's pissing me off because, like I said, that's one of the
Well, I
characters
feel
I'm most
like-
interested to see.
He's gonna pop up at the wrong time because John's going down to make friends with Dany now.
Yep.
And she's trying to take the throne, basically. So he's gonna pop up and be like, "Hey, actually, John gets it," and then it's gonna end up with a fight between them.
I don't think it will because I don't think Jon wants the throne.
No.
I think Jon will take it if he's forced to, but I honestly don't think Jon wants the throne in any way.
I honestly, long-term prediction, I see Jon sitting the throne and Dany not.
See, the best way to finish Jon's story arc, I'm not saying this is what they'll do, but the best way in my mind to finish Jon's story arc is make him the Warden of the North, and his last scene is him with his Valyrian steel sword in the God's Wood, sitting by the heart tree like Ned.
Oh, yeah?
And he's just sitting there, and it's finally calm and peaceful, and he gets to relax in this peaceful place finally.
Right.
After having to fight and struggle and war constantly for everything he's had.
I mean, that would be a good end to his story. I don't
think
think that's
they'll
where
do
they're
it.
going.
No.
I think they're going to ultimately have Jon seat the Iron Throne, kind of as like a homage to how, like, Ned Stark could have taken the throne. All he had to do was walk up the steps and do it, but he didn't. So I feel like he's going to ultimately wind up on the Iron Throne.
So this is a good transition to the next scene, which is Jon convincing the North to let him go south. So I already talked about my problem with Sansa in this, or whatever, right? And then the actual discussion I don't understand. Because it's just like, Jon didn't ask those people their counsel. He told them, I'm going south. I'm your king. I'm going south. Everybody's just like, that's a dumb decision. I didn't want to be your fucking king. You made me king. So
Also didn't
I'm
ask.
doing this. So fuck off. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, well, we need you here. Why? Why do you need me here? Waiting. The wall's still in the way. The whites aren't here yet. We have a chance to get stuff to kill the whites. If I don't get this stuff to kill the whites, we just die anyways. It's not like we can stop any of these fuckers. So why the fuck would I stay here? What's your all's argument? To unite the North? The North's already fucking united. Like, everyone's here. We're not waiting on other people to show up. Like, we're here. We're all here.
We're done.
Y'all know. I've told y'all the fucking plan. Like, what the fuck else are we supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, like, getting everybody ready, getting everybody trained. You don't need me for that. I'm one dude. I told y'all what I want. Get it fucking done.
Yeah.
Peace. Like,
Going south.
Yeah, but
Gonna see what it's like being warm for a change.
my big issue, yeah, and I totally get that it is incredibly smart for them to go down there and get some dragon glass, because yeah, they're gonna need it. But I hate that they're already forcing.
They're blowing the
together
load on the Danny.
The Danny and John get to hang out and meet. At episode 2,
the thing is that there's no way to fight it at this point. Like they're just gonna they're gonna meet up and then they're probably gonna like fuck each other and like have babies and then the baby is gonna be fucking Azor Ahai and Sir Pounce and he's gonna be the legend of prophecy and like it's just so fucking fan servicey at this point. Like no one wants to see John and Danny together, do they?
because it's Danny's his freaking aunt.
Like I just don't understand like. I just don't understand. Like, I don't want John to team up with Danny. Why? Because I feel like John's too good to team up with Danny. Like, he's going to. He's definitely going to. But like, John.
I feel like he's going to have to.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it should be something that he just wants to do.
But like that's my whole point. Is like Danny is the exact opposite of John in every way, shape, and form. Like Danny has been given literally everything her entire life, this entire series, because her last name is Targaryen. Literally everything that she has.
The hardest things that she's had to deal with her brother and walking through the desert for a few episodes in season 2.
Like everything has been solved because dragons are boobs. And like the perfect depiction of this was last season. Now I don't like season 6. The one thing I did like about
I like
season
parts
6
of season 6
was in the Battle of the Bastards when Jon is getting crowded around by his own men, then knocked over and almost trampled to death. And he's in the mud and he's having his head caked in mud and he's getting pushed into the ground by his own men, trampling him to death, right? And he fights and he struggles and he claws his way and then he gets out of it just slightly enough, just for a fucking breath, right? This very closely mimics. I said members. It mimics the scene from season 3, at the end of season 3, where Danny had her Unsullied bring a bunch of swords into the fucking dungeons of Marine and be like, here's some swords, free yourselves if you want to, slaves, peace, and then they left. So Danny really didn't do anything except give them weapons. And then the slaves fought their way free, or whatever, and they come up and they're like worshiping her as a god. They're picking her up and like, Misa, Misa, and they're carrying her around. Everything's bright and everything's, there's the desert and everybody's wearing brightly colored clothes and everybody's so happy.
I've got the scene framed identically and everything, yeah.
And, the dragons are flying around, it's triumphant music. And that's it shows their characters perfectly. Because Jon is in this hellhole, this cold, dark hellhole, and he's having a fight just so his own men don't fucking trample him to death. And Danny does nothing. And she gets praised and given everything. And it's a perfect balance to that, or whatever. And I'm just so fucking sick of Danny. So fucking sick of her. Jon at least has been struggling non-fucking stop. Anything else anybody wants to say about the North Scene?
No.
The other thing that I do love is that fuck you moment. When Sansa's been questioning him this entire discussion, and he's just like, I'm leaving the North in good hands, bitch. And she's just like, who the fuck you leaving in charge of the North, motherfucker? There ain't no one that can do it. And then he's like, you. Boom. Bet you feel like an asshole now, don't you? And then she's
no
like,
response, just,
oh. She's saying, well, like, you know what I mean? Like, I love that.
Even Littlefinger's just like,
and then from here we go into the crypts with
Yeah.
Littlefinger. Speaking of the man,
I like this thing.
I feel like I feel like the scene's pointless.
it kind of was, yeah.
The only information that we didn't already have that we get from this scene is that Littlefinger actually delivered Eddard's bones.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we didn't know.
I don't care that I didn't learn anything new really from it. I just really enjoyed watching Jon damn near beat the piss out of Littlefinger.
See, I don't like that because it doesn't make sense logically. Like, the only reason he would have to beat up Littlefinger is because he betrayed Ned, but I don't even think he knows that necessarily.
I mean, he's being protective of Sansa, is what
It's
it
like,
is, and he realizes that Littlefinger is a fucking snake in the grass after Sansa.
Littlefinger, I don't like you. You realize that I saved you and the North and your sister from getting violently raped and murdered, right? I don't care. I don't like you. Don't talk about Sansa. Bitch, she'd be dead if it wasn't for me. She would have died multiple times over. She would have been killed in King's Landing if I hadn't have saved her. Then she would have been killed by Ramsay last season if I hadn't have saved her. So,
to be fair,
eat a dick.
She also wouldn't have even been married to Ramsay.
No, she would have
had he
been...
not have brought her.
No, she would have been dead. She would have been dead in King's Landing. Frankly, I feel like bringing her to Ramsay is probably a better move than just dying. You know?
Not by much, but...
You know what I'm saying? And then he wanted her to play the game, and then she didn't play the game once she got there. She just gave in. She just let Ramsay torture her and blah, 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 blah. She didn't play the game at all. She has power over all of House Bolton. She played the game wrong. She is Sansa Stark. They need her. They absolutely need her. There's no question about it. Without Sansa Stark, you didn't have a valid claim on the North. That was the whole point of Sansa's thing.
Yep.
That's why Roose is like, you played your games with her, and now she's fucking gone. I'm probably going to name my fucking next son as heir to Winterfell because you're a fucking tardo. You know what I mean?
Yep.
She could have very easily just went to Roose and been like, hey, Ramsay's being a real piece of shit, and yeah, I'll just fucking kill myself, or I'll jump the fuck off these towers, or whatever the fuck. Like, I will turn people against you. Like, you don't have as good of a grasp on the North as you think you fucking do, dude. And Ramsay, and, you know, the thing about Roose is purely calculating. He is a Littlefinger. He is a plotter. He's a schemer. That's his whole deal. So he should have been like, yeah, fair enough. He knows how important Sansa is. He knows how important Sansa is enough in the books that he has a Stark, that he has a fake Stark, that he knows is a fake Stark, but no one else knows it's a fake Stark. And that's what they do. Yeah. They have her because they're like, can't find any of the real Starks. We need a fucking Stark, though. If we don't have a Stark, we're done.
The name is the part that's important.
I don't know. It's just a fucking bunch of...
It's so important that they falsify her very existence just to solidify their claims.
So I just don't like this. I just don't like the animosity towards Littlefinger for no real reason by a lot of the characters. Yeah. Because just because you don't trust somebody doesn't mean that you be a dick to them. That's just not how you do things. Right now, literally, that was the dumb move because Littlefinger could literally could just take the North. Like I said, he could just kill literally every single person in the North right now. Every bannerman could be killed immediately with no effort. You know what I mean? And it's not like the Knights of the Vale aren't still there.
Yeah.
Like, they're still there. There's probably some in Winterfell right now. Just open
chilling.
the fucking gates, and then boom, they can just come in and kill everyone. And it's just like, we're your strongest ally. You really gonna choke your strongest ally?
Don't even open the gates. Keep them closed. They're effectively surrounded.
Yeah, that would have literally...
Just because they're allies now doesn't mean you're not technically already surrounded.
Yeah. It would have literally been like Robert Baratheon during Robert's Rebellion, just grabbing Jon Arryn by the throat and being like, I don't like you, Jon Arryn! Huh! And then throwing him to the ground. It's like, you need Jon Arryn, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's an army. Like, that's an entire army of some of the best fighters in the world. Like... I don't know. I just don't like that scene because it's kind of pointless in my mind. Like, there's nothing for it.
Well, yeah, literally all Littlefinger has to do is like send a word, and Winterfell's under siege.
And the thing is,
indefinitely, winter started.
He killed the Boltons, but that doesn't mean he still can't fulfill his promise to Cersei. Cersei did not say, "Don't kill the Boltons," because the Boltons were an active rebellion at that point because they married Sansa. All right, so him killing the Boltons, I'm sure can be overlooked if he brings fucking Cersei, Sansa's fucking head, and is like, the North is yours, the Vale is yours, the Riverlands are yours now, so yeah, you're welcome for 3 fucking kingdoms, you know?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how that would play out, because Cersei needs allies very desperately.
Now, don't trust me, though.
Yeah, but don't trust me.
Don't trust me.
Don't trust me,
because
Cersei.
I'm going to sit on that motherfucking pointy chair later. Yeah.
I'm just saying. And like, I feel like this is all for setup to kill Littlefinger.
Yeah.
But the thing is they've literally done nothing to explain Littlefinger's actually endgame plan. And that's problematic for making me like care the fact that you killed him. Like, if you don't tell me what his plan was this entire time, his master plan that he very clearly has and had for the first, 4 seasons of the show, you know what I'm saying? Well, then everything he did was pointless and for no reason. Yeah. He just did it because chaos. Chaos is a ladder. I don't know. I have a real problem with Littlefinger because Littlefinger is one of my favorite characters, and I'm annoyed by the fact that the show is just kind of passing him by the wayside.
If you don't give us what we need, you're basically making him into a shitty Joker.
Exactly. From here, Arya in the Woods with Nymeria. So
we called the fuck out of this.
Yeah, we called this in episode or thing for 10 before the show even aired.
Prequel, yeah.
Yeah. We called this scene with Nymeria, and we almost called it exactly like this.
Just about. We had it slightly backwards, but overall it all effectively happened exactly that way.
Are you looking for
Calvin, yeah.
Yeah, Calvin.
I was like,
Is Calvin on me?
no.
No, you good.
I did feel something on
right.
me a minute ago, though, so.
Calvin, he's waiting to strike from the shadows.
Dun, dun, dun.
I guess I'm good. Fuck it.
Anyways,
Okay.
so like we basically called it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, that she would run in Nymeria and Nymeria would have the pack, and then she'd be like, I have to go north because Nymeria and she has a pack and I need a pack, and yeah, family,
And then Nymeria just
team
bounces.
venture, and then Nymeria's like, peace, dude, and then she rolls out. Once
Yeah.
again, like, it's fine. I don't feel like it was really needed because she already seems to have decided to go north in the scene.
Yeah, I'm
It didn't hurt
Crossroads.
anything. It didn't help anything. It
I'm
was just,
completely happy she did not get her direwolf and the direwolf's new pack.
I
as
do
well.
like how large they made that wolf, though.
That is something I was thinking about, though. I was like, I don't doubt in the next season there'll be some sort of massive fight, and then out of nowhere, just a pack of wolves will just roll in.
Just
It's
roll
like,
the fuck
We've been tracking Arya. We're here to save her because reasons. Show.
Because
Because
raisins.
likely we're killing Ghost off this season. Raw! I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so that brings us to our last scene. Very last scene, which is the ship fight. Now, here's the thing about this fight. So it's not a good scene. It's such a wasted set piece in my mind. They could have made this so fucking cool. Because we've never seen a naval battle in Game
Yeah.
of Thrones. Closest thing we had was Blackwater, but that fight was all
And
on
they actually
land.
kind of took away the naval battle
Yeah.
and gave us more melee combat.
Yeah. So, like, I wanted to see a big naval battle. Also, like, I wanted Euron to use some sort of crazy shit, you know, crazy fucking magic or something cool to win this. But he literally just ambushes them. That's literally the only thing he does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have any sort of real, like, special plan.
I do like that he kills like 3 daughters with their own weapons, basically. Well, 2 of them.
Well,
the only redemption in this is that he killed the Sand Snakes.
well, that's the problem. Is like,
and that wasn't even like that great.
I feel I feel he killed them for one simple reason, one simple reason only. There's been such an outcry from the entire fan base that those Sand Snakes were
Yeah.
shitty additions to the show. That I mean,
Well, they're in
it
the
made-
books, but
Like the entire fight on that ship was chaotic and hectic, and the screens like keep on changing, and that because it was meant to like really. I felt that it was meant to really encapsulate what a fight on a ship deck would be like. That is pure fucking chaos, and I felt that like there's all these chaotic fights. Freaking Euron is cleaving through his own men trying to get to Yara. He doesn't care because it's how chaotic everything's going on. Yet when it comes to those 3, it's perfectly on them. We want you to see and enjoy us killing these characters that you all apparently hate. Here we go.
See, I have a couple problems with the scene. My first problem with the scene is that I don't give a shit about any of these characters on this boat. Like, I don't care about Theon. I don't care about his sister. I don't care about any of the Sand Snakes. So this battle has no stakes to it. The worst thing that happens is you kill Euron, but I know you're not going to fucking kill Euron. Because if you kill Euron, then all this was pointless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I already know that Euron's going to make it through. So this scene has no stakes for me. And then, yeah, like, that was actually one thing I didn't like was how very clearly fan servicey it was. Like that one, the first one he kills where he stabs her with the spear and then like picks her up or whatever, and they do like the shot overhead or whatever, and it's just like, look how murdered she is. She's so murder. We murder. Look at the murder. You know what I mean? Like, you hate her and we fucking killed her. Look at how murdered she is. Like, don't you have a boner right now for this murder? Like it's just so over the top. You know what I mean? And then he like chokes the other one to death. Like, it's so much more violent. Like, everybody else just get hit with an axe once and then they're dead. And then of course
at the
these.
very end there, they have like the one with the whip hanging and the
Yeah.
one with the spear impaled, and like it just made up. Like, oh, look, they're dead. They're dead, guys.
Yeah.
We promise they're dead.
And the thing I find most funny about that is that the online community didn't dislike those 2 as much as they disliked the other one, the one that actually lived, which was like the you want a good girl but you need a bad pussy, that girl or whatever the fuck. She's the most disliked Sand Snake as far as I know, or whatever. And like that one lives to be carried into King's Landing, you know, later on. But yeah, it just had no real stakes to it, really.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like a murder fiesta.
Do you want to just let James rail on his part for a minute?
Well, actually, let me get my words in edgewise because I also dislike it.
Because we know he's got a lot to say on this, and we all agree.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to add, because I'll let you do your thing, is I don't understand. There's no character growth to Theon's character. Is basically what we're learning from this. Yeah. And the other thing I don't like
they
about
very clearly wrote that they don't have a plan for him and they don't care.
Yeah, and then the other thing I don't like about it is that Yara is just looking at him like, "Are you going to save me? Are you going to save me?" In my mind, Yara should have been like, sacrifice herself in that moment. Like, give him like a nod or something like that of like, go. So at least one Greyjoy survives. You know what I mean? Like, there's very clearly...
Take a quick elbow to fucking Euron's dick and buy Theon like 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, because there's very clearly no way that...
And here's the thing.
They have any hope of surviving.
Here's the thing. If they had have just simply put a fucking bow and arrow beside Theon,
yeah,
Euron's done.
Yeah.
Because maybe not how they portrayed him in the show, but Theon, fucking brilliant archer.
Yeah.
Even with a couple of the
general.
missing fingers he's got, he could probably still put an arrow through Euron's eye from 1,000 yards.
And then he'd be the real crow's eye with the eye patch. That would have been great. But yeah, and then I find the stage directing for Euron interesting in this scene, because it seemed like they were just like, listen, be the Joker. And then he was just like, all right,
piratey.
Cool. And then he was pirate Joker. And then like that last scene when Theon jumps off the fucking boat or whatever, it's like, all right, now do a laugh. Like a Joker laugh? Yes, do exactly a Joker laugh. Am I just going to be Heath Ledger's Joker? Yes. But now, yeah, you can go now.
Okay, James, go ahead and dive in.
Just rail on it. We know what you're going to...
Yeah, go over the rails on it. Dive in.
So, this is what... Like, you can ask friggin' Anthony and Chris.
We've actually discussed this multiple times already, and he's still heated.
When we were in the living room watching this, and as the show ended, like I was just standing there, sitting there dumbfounded, and like just trying to materialize what I had just watched in that last scene. And like we knew that we had to get over here to do the recording, and like I just get up with them and I walk towards the door, and I'm still trying to compartmentalize what I just saw, and I'm heading out the door. My girlfriend comes rushing. I was like, "You gonna say bye?" And I'm like, "Oh, bye. I love you." Shit. I am so vehemently pissed the fuck off what they did to Theon that I hope he fucking dies in that fucking ocean. Son of a bitch! They fucking try to redeem him with Sansa, and to get him back from like, okay, he's no longer weak. He's gonna go back to being Theon. Hey, look, he's meeting back up with Yara. Look, he's getting up with Daenerys. He's going to become Theon again. And right there, in his shining moment, to fucking go back and grow the pair that fucking Ramsay cut off of him.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, he just fucking dips. He just then decides to have a fucking mental damn breakdown and leave. And yeah, I get, like, once again, I've not read the books. I don't know. I never knew exactly how fucked in the head Euron was until Chris told me. And yes, now here's the thing. Had they shown Euron being that nut jobbery crazy in the show, that fucking Lovecraftian-esque fucking madman that he's supposed to be in the books, had we seen him be that crazy in the show, sure, maybe then Theon would have enough of a reason to have a psychological damn breakdown in the middle of the damn ship and jump over. But we didn't get that. He had no reason to have a psychological breakdown and fucking run. I hope he dies in that ocean.
And that's something that should have happened. He should have died because... not sure if anybody's aware of how naval battles used to go back in the day. They would have specific people set up to be archers, so if people dived into the water, they could just pick them off one by one. So yeah, while he's floating on his fucking little board, he should have been shot in
His
the fucking
Titanic
back
scene?
of the neck. You know?
I honestly, I hate how they're diminishing Euron.
So my exact words in this, I just want to get this out there, were...
Hold on, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Does it say where's so money?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. So
I knew the question and answered for you already.
Stage direction. Be the Joker. I got you. Dope. Close the scene with a laugh. Joker laugh. Yeah, man. We're so fucking money. Oh, everyone's favorite character on this ship's Euron. Dope. Have him mark up the sand snakes. Look how much kill he does to sand snakes. Look how much kill. We are so money. Dude, I'm so funny to myself. No one else finds me as funny as I. Listen, you guys don't appreciate me.
Right, like where I ranted there, I'm still pissed off, and I'm still just repeating in my head, I hope he fucking dies in that ocean.
He's so money. Here's the thing, though. He's going to get scooped up by Tyrion and Varys and Gendry.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Gendry's got. I know Gendry's coming back, and I'm sick of waiting. Just bring him back so you can send him north of the wall so he can die, because that's what you're going to do. Because for some reason, even though he's the last Baratheon, he's going to be back for 4 episodes, then he's going to die. Or 3 episodes, or 2 episodes.
1 episode.
He's just at the wall for no reason. They introduce him and kill him same episode. How pissed would you be?
Hey guys, I'm back.
Oh
The
no!
whole 30 seconds of screen time.
So here's another thing that I thought of Dany, though, throughout this episode that I forgot to mention, was her whole, like, trying to act regal and queenie or whatever, and every time that she would try to act, like, regal and queenie and badass, I was like, here I go, queening again.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, here I go queening again.
I hate Emilia Clarke's portrayal of Daenerys nowadays because, like, you'll see her, like, doing her Daenerys thing, and she just gets this smug look on her face, like she just farted. Everyone knows she farted, but they can't call her out on it, so she's just like...
She's just glancing around, being like, no one's going to say anything, are they?
No one's calling me out? Cool.
No one's going to say shit, because you know better. Because I'll kill you with dragon fire.
Dragons.
I just fucking hate
She
her.
just looks so goddamn smug.
I just hate her, dude. I just hate her so much. Anyways, guys, so that about wraps up the episode. So I want to thank you for sticking with us through an hour and 20 minutes of us yelling
Jesus Christ.
about how shit this episode was. But honestly, I feel like this is the best episode of Words of Wind yet. Frankly, shit was hilarious to me. Real
money.
quick, let's just touch on
it was so money.
the future shot thing, like the next
I
time.
actually didn't watch it.
So very clearly,
we didn't watch that at all.
No, we were too mad and we just left.
So Euron is very clearly bringing the Sand Snakes to King's Landing. What else we got? Jon arrives at Dragonstone.
Season 3.
It looks like we're also going to get the Unsullied breaking down Castle Rock, and it looks like simultaneously the Lannister soldiers are going to take Highgarden, based off what we saw from the preview. So that's how things are looking currently.
Word.
Our wind.
Yeah.
Boom.
Word our win.
Word our wind. So such money. I'm gonna get a tattoo on my inside of my lip that says "I'm so money." That's a permanent thing now. That's gonna be my catchphrase forever. Now I'll forget it by literally 2 days from now.
God, I hope so.
By Tuesday when we start.
Unless everybody blows up. Maybe that's my sign-off phrase.
No.
Words are wind. We're so money. If people love it, people love it. All right, Chris. I can't stop the people. All right.
I can.
How?
I'll sign a petition.
Bring
I'll
it.
start a petition.
Listen,
I'll
Matt
sign a petition.
Gadry's like the U.S.
signature.
government. All right, we don't
Fuck
give a
Matt.
fuck about your
This
petitions.
is the fuck Matt petition.
Change.org. Stop the catchphrase.
and I'll make one that says this. I'll make one change.org. This catchphrase is so money.
Anyways,
I'll sign that one too.
I think that about wraps it up, guys. I do want to thank you for listening. This is Words Are Win. We are part of Loud Table Productions Podcast Network. We make podcasts of all sorts all the time. We produce content 5 days a
do
week.
a thing.
We do things. You fucked me up. Where was I? I'm so tired.
we make podcasts
I'm
5
so
times
fired.
a week.
Yeah, we make podcasts 5 times a week. You can email us at loudtableproductions@gmail.com. Tell us what you thought of this episode. Tell us the reasons that we're dumb and wrong and blah, 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 blah. You can tell us if you love my new catchphrase of I'm so money. You can also tell us if you hate the catchphrase I'm so money. You can also make a drinking game out of this episode. Take a shot every time I say I'm so money.
You gotta say it like 5 or 6 more times to just fuck them over.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of this little section right here.
He is so money.
You can also tweet at us, LoudTableProd at LoudTableProd. You can follow us on Instagram, LoudTable_Productions. You can find us on Facebook, LoudTable Productions. You can find us anywhere podcasts are located. You can rate us and you can subscribe to us and you can comment and blah blah
iTunes,
blah blah
YouTube,
blah blah blah.
all the good places.
Yep. So go ahead and get
We
that
on
done.
Reddit, boy.
We have a Reddit. You can follow us individually on Twitter. I am at GadryRoss. That's GadryRoss.
And I'm at Chris_Bogard.
I'm at Anthony Hagen 13.
I really hope he dies in that ocean. I'm at
The Wolf Among Us.
Thank you.
With an E in
With an E.
wolf.
Thank you.
Tweet at Loud Table Prod on Twitter and tell us
Hashtag so money.
Hashtag I'm so
Hashtag so money or hashtag
no money. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna go. That's good stuff.
And do me a favor, if you're in with my play, let's see if we can get hashtag I hope he dies in that ocean going as well.
I think it's a long hashtag.
It is a bit of a long hashtag.
Dude, one time I created
Hashtag fuck Theon.
one of my favorite hashtags I ever hashtagged was I put hashtag I still have a bunch of letters in this tweet, so I'm gonna keep writing. All right, guys.
I like hashtag.
Hashtag. I do love hashtag. Anyways, guys, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you for listening, and until next time, I need a sign-off phrase.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
Go Snow! Gentlemen, let me tell you something about that recording. It was so fucking money.